Arnold Schwarzenegger and his wife of 25 years, Maria Shriver, are separating. And we're talking about it with Ann Lopez. She's in the process of divorcing George Lopez. We have the Insider's Kevin Frazier, who's been giving us details on the breakup. Joining us now are celebrity divorce attorney Donald Schweitzer and Kennedy family biographer Lawrence Lamer. He knows all about the couple's history. Maria's mother was Eunice Kennedy Shriver. Lawrence, why do you think this couple is separating?
Well, we don't know, and the secrets of a marriage are secrets forever in those two souls. But as one of your previous guests said, that it's lasted for 25 years as it did, and all the achievements they both have managed during these years. I mean, I think one should look at that. It is transition. When you talk about that, it seems like kind of psychobabble. But the point is, Maria's in her mid-50s. Her mother and her father both were amazing achievers. They pushed their daughters, all the children, to do great things. Her brother Bobby told me when he was a freshman at Yale that his mother would call him every morning and say, "Bobby, get up and seize the day." That's the way Maria was brought up. I mean, has she seized the day? She's in her mid-50s now. Her kids are leaving the house. Her beloved parents have died. What is she going to do with the rest of her life? That factors into this as well. For Arnold's friends say the one thing they worried about was how would their friend deal with getting old. Arnold is getting old. What will he do with the rest of his life? He's going back to doing films, but kids are not going to go into the movie theaters to see Arnold. What will he do with the rest of his life? What will they do separately? What will they do together?
Well, very interesting. And I just realized my kids are taking off to college, and I'm going to now make a habit of calling each of them and say, "Seize the day." It seemed to work okay for the Kennedy Shriver clan, and it's an interesting analogy here for you. I mean, yeah. Maria, as subject, she gave her career and her youth. You actually gave a kidney to your husband. I mean, and
my career and my youth.
Well, and so, you know, are there things to be learned from you guys? Long-term marriages where a lot of women really sacrifice a ton and still go out and want to seize the day on their own.
I mean, you know, for me, this has been a big transition. I've been in the George Lopez business for 20 years. I'm going to continue to be in the George Lopez business. But, yeah, I think now I'm also doing things for myself that I might not have done had this not happened. I'm producing more other projects besides just projects for George.
Do you think that's what Maria's doing, that she's going out and seizing the day?
Yes, I think Maria is going out and seizing the day. All of a sudden, you do look at yourself and go, what am I going to do? Not just what I've helped my husband do.
And to be fair, we're all living longer and whatnot.
So keep in mind what her mother did. Her mother started the Special Olympics, and that's I mean, that's something incredible. And also, I think that you have to remember, she's worth a lot of money, $125 million, and so she's not hurting for cash or anything.
Well, that's what I want to talk to Donald about. Donald, you're a divorce attorney. Two questions I have for you, in any order. Is money going to make this messier, or is it just that they have enough money, each of them, that it's going to make it easier? And are we likely, in your experience, to see separation go to divorce?
Well, the first question is about the money, and they could afford a divorce. This is a case where she's not worried about her financial security, which is very common for most women that I come encounter with that are going through a divorce. They're really fearful about how they're going to support themselves, particularly when they're past the age of 50. In this case, she doesn't have that worry, but you can see from that tape that she is worried, that she's exploring. And the thing I like about what she's doing is she's reaching out to others. And I think you know that that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
She's trying to find her way, and she's saying, somebody help me, try to figure this out. And that's a positive thing. Now, with respect to whether this is going to be a divorce or legal separation, we don't know that. I think that you know from a lot of the people that you've seen in the past that there's people that separate and they get back together. But in this case, what's really important is that they've made a public statement. They've come out and said, hey, we're having problems. And I think that that's very, very telling with respect to a Kennedy, you know, and a politician, that they're coming out and making a public statement. So they're probably far along at this point.
Heading towards divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I see separations in treatment, people trying to reconcile, trying to get it back together. By the time they make it public and come to you, that's sort of when they're...
But you also can get outed. I know we got outed. George and I were separated.
Oh, so you think they may have been forced to talk about this?
Well, they might have been forced. We were separated, and someone found out, one of the tabloids found out we weren't living together, and then we were forced to make a statement. And
I heard TMZ was going and talking about there being a longer-term separation here. Lawrence, I sort of have a question for you, which is, as you're the biographer, and I'm going to ask you to look into your crystal ball and look ahead and think about what the biography is going to look like 10 years from now as you write it in retrospect. Where is Maria going from here?
These are both powerful, ambitious people going through terribly painful times. I expect they will overcome this. It's entirely possible that the greatest achievements of their lives are ahead of them. I mean, Maria has not done the substantive things she wants to do. She felt her parents wanted to do. She does not have that yet. For Arnold, his days as a movie star are over, his days as a bodybuilder are over. There are all many good things he can do in the world, and he's an immensely talented person. He may not have been a great governor, but he's a great public presence.
And do you have kids? You and George?
Yes, I do. I have a 15-year-old brother.
So it's similar age range for their kids. How did they contend with this, it being so public and all?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
You look, I see pain in your eyes when you say that. Yeah. So it was really bad.
Because kids at school, you know, they read things in magazines and they know things that shouldn't be private.
But so it's bad. Yeah.
It's
So if
bad.
the kids are going to, Donald, the kids have trouble with this?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every divorce I've seen, kids are impacted. And that was my first thought is, what about these kids? Because we know that Arnold has made statements about being a father, and we hope that he's always been a good father. And how are they going to handle his joint custody?
You've met the kids, haven't you?
Yes,
they're great kids. They
are
people.
great kids,
Yeah.
and it's interesting because there are internet reports saying that she was miserable. Now, I'm not confirming these reports, but there are reports that say
Why?
she was, and the kids
Why
were
was she
saying,
miserable?
move on.
Why?
Because, you know what? Because she wasn't able to be who she is. Remember who her good friend is. It's Oprah Winfrey. And she looks at Oprah and all the things she's doing on the networks. Remember, she walked away from Dateline, all these things that she was doing.
This, though. When kids say, Mom, I want you to move on, that means something pretty bad is happening in the household.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Most kids want to be with both parents.
No matter what. Yes, they want them to get along
But
above
in this
everything.
situation, that wasn't a family that was always together. They were used to the separation. You
All right,
have
Kevin,
to look at that family
let me
and
put you on
understand.
the line with this, on the record.
Okay.
Is it marital infidelities we're talking about here likely? Is that that's the rumors you hear?
You hear the rumors, but remember this.
Does
in this
anybody
day
have
and
any-
age,
does anybody have any substance
nobody
coming out?
has anything of substance. The two people who know what actually happened are Arnold and Maria.
Yeah, but he was
And
the
until
governor
they
of
say-
California. He was under a microscope for 4
Sure.
years. I have a feeling that TMZ would have come out with something by this time. Am I wrong?
Unless this is a festering
Well,
wound.
I don't know if they can get in the governor's mansion.
But
You know,
guy,
it's tough.
But unless this is a festering wound from years ago. And remember, Maria Shriver is a great politician in her own right. I mean, she really got him elected.
She understands that from her own family background.
Yes.
I think one of the things that, especially in a celebrity marriage and a political marriage, is time. Time becomes your greatest commodity. And everyone wants a piece of you, and you don't have enough time, and your family does sometimes suffer. It's a very difficult give and take.
I think time and timing.
Yes.
Once again, like you said, master politician. I think she waited.
I agree. So what I've learned from this is I'm going to tell my kids to seize the day. So I suggest we all tell our kids that because clearly it works in the Kennedy Shriver clan. I want to thank my panel. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, Donald, Kevin, and thank you so much for joining us and talking about it. It's an interesting conversation, and we can only speculate. Let's be fair. I mean, we really don't know what's going on.